Hey, welcome to another episode of I Can Alteryx That with coaches Alex and John. I'm John. Today, we're going to cover Alteryx challenge number 217, F1 Racing. Let's get started. Alright, so we've got a challenge this week where we're looking at F1 racing data. Let's go ahead and run this. So our goal is to transform this race data and the race points and to determine the top 3 finishers over the set of races that we have data for here. So we've got this one set called F1 race data. It has lap by lap information for each driver and these 14 races during the season. So you can see here in the 2011 Turkey race, Vettel on the first lap had a lap time of 95.269 seconds, and so on. We have this race points data set, which is 10 columns and 1 row, showing how many points each finisher gets. So a first place finisher gets 25 points, second place gets 18, and so on, where 10th place only gets 1 point. And again, our goal is to tabulate the number of championship points for each driver that we can see right here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is grab a summarize tool, and I'm going to summarize by name and file name. File name is the race name here. And I'm just going to rename these to driver and race. And let's just go ahead and sum the lap time, and we'll call this race time. And if we run this workflow, actually one more thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab a sort tool. I'm going to sort by race, it doesn't matter what order, and I'm going to sort by race time in ascending order. That way we'll see the racers with the shortest times first. So you can see right here, for the Belgium timing data race, Buemi had a race time of 723 seconds, but you can see most of these racers have times around 5,200 seconds. So that's telling me that some of these guys did not finish the race. So what I'm going to do is, let's look at the lap. So if we go back to the original data, we see we have this lap. And we can see for Vettel, well, I mean for the Turkey race anyway, he did 58 laps. So why don't we find the max lap for each race and driver? And we're going to add that to the sort right here in descending order, because we want the racers who actually did all of the laps, under the assumption that the finisher actually did every lap. I think that's a safe assumption. Okay, so you can see right here for the Belgium race, we now have all the racers who actually completed all the laps and their times. And then we can see down here, Buemi, Hamilton, they clearly had issues. They got into a crash or had a mechanical. For whatever reason, they did not finish the race. So the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to use a multi-row formula, and we're going to create a position field. Since we've already sorted the data, we know that Vettel was first place, Weber was second place, Button third place, and so on. And I really hope I'm pronouncing their names right. They're mostly European, so there's a good chance I am not pronouncing these names right. But for our position, all we're going to do is row minus 1 of the previous position plus 1, and make sure you group by the race. That's very important. So if we run this, we'll now see we have our position field for the Belgium race, and we can see it restarts on the Canada race right here. Maybe it's Bouton. I don't know, is the guy French? Beats me. So now let's look at the race points. And I'm going to transform this with the transpose tool. We're not going to select any key columns, and that's just going to turn all of our columns into rows. So we see now first place, value, and so on. And just to make things easier, let's grab a record ID tool. So now we have the number 1 attached to 25, the number 2 attached to 18. And what we're going to do here is join that with the original data set. We're going to join our position field and this record ID field. And when we run that, you'll see that we have fewer fields because only the top 10 finishers get points. That's okay because we're only interested in the top 3 finishers anyway. So you can see here, what's all these guys. So these guys won our races, the 13 races. Here are all of our second place finishers and so on. So now what I want to do is summarize again. Now we don't care about the races, we only care about drivers. So I'm going to group by driver, and I'm going to sum the value column, which is our points column that we joined in the previous step. And I'll call this points. And now if I run this again, you see that for each driver we have the total points they had over those races. So to finish up, we'll grab another sort tool, sort by points in descending order. And because we only want the top 3, I'm going to grab a sample tool. First n, where n equals 3. And if we run this, we will have our answer. Vettel with 281 points, Alonso with 191, and Button with 187. Now if you look at the solution, this is not matching. When I downloaded this immediately after this was posted, Alteryx had accidentally posted the wrong solution. I just got an email right before I started recording this saying that they had updated the solution. So what I'm showing you here, the 281, 191, and 187 is the correct answer. But in any case, that is how you can solve challenge 217. Thanks for watching. As always, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the Data Coach channel for more awesome lessons on Alteryx and all things data analytics and visualization. Follow Data Coach on Twitter at AskTessellation and follow me personally at jemery_dataviz. Thanks again.